I'm currently staying with Anton Seim, and I met Anton through the internet, through Facebook. Both do travel videos, follow different paths. I mean, I've gone out on my own. I was relying on YouTube AdSense for the last year. That's all changed. Anton, how do you fund your model of production?
Well, I'm a filmmaker trying to go a more traditional narrative route, but I was also making travel videos. I travel a lot, and so I would just, point a camera at myself, throw a video up, and I was getting things like getting commissioned by Lonely Planet to make videos, but I had no idea how to get like a YouTube partnership and actually make a revenue share the way that you were. And I was looking for other people who were doing travel videos. So I stumbled upon yours, and you're putting out a video like every 3 days all over Southeast Asia. And, I always wonder, like, how are other people funding their travels? Because for me, I am getting hired as a camera operator. I go shoot a travel show in India, and then I ask them if they'll extend my ticket a month, and then I go through Southeast Asia, and I just make videos for fun, hoping that it leads to someone seeing me and then commissioning me to make videos. But I didn't really understand how it was possible to have YouTube pay you the way that you have. So.
Well, that has all recently changed. Recently there was a change to the YouTube algorithm and a change to the business model too. I mean, YouTube are a business, and they can see that within a number of years, I think they said 2020, 75% of channels will be on the internet. So they're looking to get TV on the internet, and a lot of the vloggers who started on YouTube feel a little bit bad about that. I can totally understand where it's going, but in the process of that algorithm change, a lot of the partners took a 2/3 hit in their income, including myself. So my income, when I left starting my trip around Asia, I was making enough money to live and travel around Asia. That's all changed. So now, one thing I want to do in Los Angeles, this is a hub of online video. Culver City Maker Studios, they've got 300 YouTubers on their book, a lot of who are making six-figure incomes. So I wanted to look at how people are actually funding. It's like, I see it like the stage of where we're going from the blacksmiths and the horse-drawn cartridges, to motor cars. So TV is struggling in Australia. There's 2 channels that are basically bankrupt, and it's all sort of going online. But it's such an exciting period because people are exploring new models of raising revenue to create films, and that's what I wanted to explore. But what I realised in coming to Los Angeles, everyone else wants to. I had a list of people I wanted to interview: the CEO of YouTube, all these important people, top YouTubers, and I sort of haven't heard much of a reply. And I suppose the reason for that is, Anton, that everyone is out here to make it and break. And you yourself originally came from Texas.
Yeah, well, I mean, Los Angeles for the last 100 years has been the center of the entertainment world. I mean, the film industry is basically based here. There are movies made other places, but I've heard that there are more artists living and working in Los Angeles right now than any other place in history ever.
And even you're in Studio City, and you were saying that neighbour there does this. Everyone in your neighbourhood works in the production industry.
Yeah, I have very few friends who do jobs that are outside of production and the entertainment industry. And so you have everybody in the U.S. and from all around the world coming to this one place, trying to break in and trying to get a break. And so, yeah, there's like a little bit of an air of desperation here. And so it's hard to know who's legit and who's a poser and who is, trying to use you.
And I can imagine you get some idiots like myself coming from Australia, putting out emails to the CEOs of all these big companies expecting a reply, and it doesn't work that way. But one thing I do like about America, and I mean, I've just been to China, and China is the new centre of the world. It's the new economic centre of the world. But what I love about America is the optimism. People are so positive, and there's such an optimism that I don't think, America will still, remain a powerful country because there's that get up and go attitude.
Yeah. Well, it's the capitalist spirit, right? People came here to be free and to pursue the businesses that they wanted to, and it's like, people call it the American dream, but yeah, that's just part of our culture.
You grew up in Texas. Los Angeles is a completely different creature. I mean, I see people walking down the street wearing all sorts of... I'm dressed up as a cowboy and no one said anything. And I remember reading Billy Connolly, the Scottish comedian, said what he loved about LA. He said, I can hop in my T-model Ford, I can drive down the street, and I'll see a guy on the side of the road dragging a cross behind him dressed up as Jesus. And he said, this is the only place in the world that someone can get away with that. There's a real sort of freedom. Compared to growing up in Texas, middle America, how do you compare Los Angeles?
Yeah, well, I was talking to you about the tall poppy syndrome, like chop off the tall poppies. And that's like part of the Australian culture. It's part of the culture of some other places. But people come to LA to stand out. People want to make a break, want to make a name for yourself. So that's also part of the culture of Los Angeles, that you can do whatever you want and be the person that you want to be. So to walk around in a cowboy hat, it's no big deal. Like, that's tame,
Where are we now? We haven't even introduced where we are. What are we overlooking?
We're looking over the San Fernando Valley. You have Universal Studios that way, Warner Brothers, Disney. So yeah, it's called Studio City, and there's tons of film studios right behind us. Yeah.
Anton, thanks for your time. I'm still going to try and follow up some interviews with some of these top YouTubers, studios, people using interesting models. Met some students from what film school again? Southern USC. Met some students from USC. Going to sit them down and do some interviews and see where they think things are heading. And yeah, stay tuned.